All right. Secant is the reciprocal of what? Cosine. So we are just going to, for a minute, graph cosine. Okay, we've graphed cosine many times. So if I'm going through all my questions, what is my amplitude? Period. Now we have to think a little bit. Normal period for cosine is, right. Cosine and sine are 2 pi. Tangent and cotangent are pi. So we do 2 pi divided by 1/2. So we get 4 pi. Count by period divided by the 4 quadrants. So we just get pi. Okay. Do we have to do an interval on this one? No. The only time you have to is if you have things added or subtracted. But if you're not sure, it doesn't hurt anything to do it. So you certainly can. We just put the angle in between 0 and 2 pi. So then we multiply everything by 2, so we just get that we're going to start at 0 and end at 4 pi. Right. So my first point is at 0. I'm counting by pi. So the next one's pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. Equal to is 2. So, what I would suggest is lightly draw this in, or if you want, you can even draw this in like normal and erase it afterwards, or some people like to highlight their final answer. But I go ahead and sketch the cosine graph. That's not part of my secant, but it'll help me get my secant. So I know cosine starts at its high point. So cosine 0 is 2. Pi, I'm down to 0. 2 pi, it's at -2. 3 pi back to 0, and 4 pi up to 2. So that's cosine. Then, to get secant, we say anywhere this is 0, what's going to happen? Asymptote. So reciprocal of 0 is undefined. So we have a vertical asymptote here and here. That high and low points stay. And then you just turn the graph away from the x-axis. So this is going up, approaching my asymptote. Here we have an upside down parabola. Oops. And this section's going. And so then we get our graph. And that way we're not trying to remember a different interval or anything weird. We just graph sine or cosine and then get secant or cosecant from there. Just make sure I can tell which one's your final answer. So either lightly or take a highlighter and highlight secant graph, something there. All right. Any questions? Then let's go to this one. What will this 1 in the front do? Same thing as having a +1 on the end. It'll go up 1. What's my amplitude? Period. 2 pi divided by the number in front of x, which is just 1. So we get 2 pi. Count by? Good. Period. Divided by 4, so pi over 2. Do I have to do an interval? Yes, because you have things added or subtracted. But when in doubt, just always do it. So this goes between 0 and 2 pi. The only two that don't go between 0 and 2 pi are what? Tangent and cotangent. All right, so if I add my pi over 2, I get pi over 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 5 pi over 2. So my first point's at pi over 2. Add pi over 2 and we get pi. 3 pi over 2. 2 pi. And 5 pi over 2. We're moving up 1. All right. Cosecant is the reciprocal of what? So we're going to graph sine. All right, my first point was at pi over 2. Sine starts at its middle point, 0. If you got confused, though, you could work it out. If you plug in pi over 2, pi over 2 minus pi over 2 is 0. Sine of 0 is 0 times 3 halves. So then sine goes up. So at pi, I would be 1.5 above that. Back down. 1.5 below. Back to the middle. Okay. Now this helps me because anywhere it's at 0, which in this case the 0 is at 1, right? Because we shifted our graph up. So these points become asymptotes. High and low points stay. Turn it away from the axis. So we just have a parabola going up. And a parabola going down. So my actual cosecant graph is the black one there. The orange was just to help me get an idea of what I was doing. Any questions there? Do we need to do another graph together, or do you guys feel like you know what's going on? Think you're good? Can we do one example of trying to write an equation from a graph? So I have one of those, and then I'll let you guys practice and ask questions, okay? So, if I want to write the equation, first let's decide if it's sine or cosine. So, secant or cosecant, using sine or cosine. If there was a vertical asymptote, that means that my sine was 0, or my function was 0. Up here, 0, back here, 0. So is this yellow curve sine or cosine? Sine. So this other one, the reciprocal of sine, is cosecant. Okay, amplitude. What's the amplitude of this graph? 1. We just went 1 above and below. Is it flipped or anything? Nope, so there's nothing else in front. Did I move up and down? No. The only thing that's different is the period. How long did it take before this repeated? 4 pi. So think about how we get it. 2 pi divided by the number in front of x had to equal 4 pi. So if you multiply 2 pi is equal to 4 pi b, divide by 4 pi, we get 1/2. So it's just y equals cosecant of 1/2 x. This one. All right, a little misleading because I didn't start at 0, did I? But we can kind of figure out a pattern. If we did start at 0, we know we had this point. This was an asymptote, so that would be 0. There, I apologize for the red lines there. That was stolen out of a textbook, and I don't know why they had the red lines. But so if we continue the pattern, you know, we can see what's happening over here as well. And it would just keep following this pattern, right? So is that one a sine or a cosine? Cosine, because it started at 1. Reciprocal cosine is secant. Amplitude was just 1. Okay. Did I move up or down? No. Did we flip? No. Because cosine always starts at its high point, right? So what's different? The period. Okay, if you think about starting here, at 2 pi, I'm only halfway done. So how long would it be before I got back up here? 4 pi. So again, this one had a period of 4 pi. So it might be, turns out to be a half again. So I just wanted to show you, I don't have to start the graph at 0. I could show you the other half of it because we know it just is a constant wave that keeps going. All right. So I really don't want you guys to have a lot of homework over the weekend, so I'd like to give you time right now to do the 4.4 handout. So work on that, ask questions, make sure we're good.